You're watching Stretford Paddock. We're here for the review of Man United versus Watford. Obviously, United lost 2-0. What's that feel like? How are you feeling right now?
Demoralised.
Yeah? Bit of a kick in the bollocks, that one, wasn't it?
It was like more like a volley in the bollocks.
Yeah. It's just... What in your mind now, we're sat here, we've just obviously seen this game, it's the same kind of formula we've seen a lot this season. United struggle to break a team down. United concede first. United continue to struggle to break a team down, and then obviously Watford got the second today. What are the key things that you think are to blame for that result
Obviously,
today?
What we've been kind of preaching for the past well over a month is we're just against the lesser teams. It's like the lesser teams are turning up and we're not, because that could be a factor in it. Obviously, since the last 20 years or so, whenever a team's playing United, it's kind of their cup final.
Yeah.
So they've played probably better than they've played this season, and then we've played down a level or two. So I don't know whether it's a question of motivation, whether it's just play style, but as for the pattern of not being able to break down lower ranked teams, so to speak, it's happening time again. So if you're seeing a pattern that often, then that usually means that there's actually a correlation there, isn't it?
Yeah.
But,
so do you think that correlates to bad management, bad players, bad tactics?
It's down to the players at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, because
you kind of go in and out of management there, management this, but then there's always the aspect of when the players step out on the pitch, they've got to perform. And Ollie's not responsible for Fred giving the ball away constantly, McTominay giving the ball away constantly.
Yeah. They were particularly poor.
Managers aren't responsible for that kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, and when Jesse Lingard's through on goal 30 yards out and he goes to chip the keeper and the ball goes over, that's not... Solskjaer didn't tell him to miss that, by the way. Solskjaer didn't say, if you're through on goal, just chip it and hit it too hard. You expect a player that's through on goal to score, generally.
Well, at the very least, you expect him to hit the target.
Hit the target,
I'm saying hit the target.
Make a goalie make the save.
Make a goalie make a save. That's two literal one-on-ones that we've had today where they've gone for a little bit of a dink and it's gone over. It's like... And all of the shots that we had on target were pretty much straight at Ben Foster as well.
Yeah. Ben Foster had a good game, but yeah, like I said, almost everything was straight at him. Talking about the goals then, the first goal, free kick taken by Will Hughes, I think, wasn't it? He chipped the ball in the box. There was Maguire had his man, and then at the last minute, another man came in. I can't remember who it was. Won and nodded on header. I don't know who was marking him before.
I think Maguire went to go and head it, and then I think Decore got to it before him.
Because Maguire had his man though, and then someone else came in, maybe Decore, like you said.
And then I think it was Sarr reacted.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw didn't, and then Luke Shaw basically did. I was going to say half-hearted, but more like quarter-hearted.
A quarter just using one ventricle for this block.
Yeah, quarter-hearted attempt to try and block that.
Yeah.
It's like it's got to mean more to you to want to block like a shot towards your goal as a defender. That's the make or break, because people are going to point at the mistake. It's a mistake by there. He should save it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get to that if Luke Shaw says to himself, I want to block this. I don't want this guy to shoot towards goal.
Yeah, it looked like he was just. It looked like he was sort of diving, going in through the motions, almost like, look at me, I'm trying to block it. He didn't look like he was trying to win the ball. It didn't really look like he was making a full attempt. And obviously a terrible. I know we saw De Gea make a few mistakes last season, but he's been solid this season so far, pretty much, except last week against Everton, and then it was another problem today. The ball just slipped through his hands, hit his face, and went in, didn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Just.
Not much went our way today, though, if I'm being honest. It's like, look at the bounce, just wasn't there. Because even on the penalty shout for Wan-Bissaka, he's basically...
Yeah.
He's made a name for himself over the past couple of years on being seamless in his slide tackling.
Yeah.
And even the ball running through for him to make that challenge. It's just like a lucky... bounce of the ball or flick on in behind and he's caught off.
If you, like I say, you make a name for yourself making those sorts of challenges, you can't win them every single time. So you have to, if you are going to be the sort of player that goes down in the box, that makes slide tackles in the box, you have to know that you either limit the amount of times you do it to ones that you know you're definitely going to win, or you admit the fact that you are going to give away a couple of penalties this season. Because if that's there's a reason most people don't do that. He's obviously exceptional at these sorts of tackles. We see it week in, week out from Wan-Bissaka, but there's a reason most people don't do that, and it's because if you get it wrong, which everyone gets it wrong sometimes, you give a penalty away, and that's what we saw today. So I think you have to definitely put the blame on that for that on Wan-Bissaka. But yeah, I don't necessarily think it's the end of the world, but it just happened to come. Obviously, terrible mistake by De Gea, and then mistake from Wan-Bissaka again. And United just didn't make any chance. Well, we made a few chances. Pogba came on. I would say he's United's best player by an absolute mile. That was the next point.
Literally, we've been crying out since the start of the season. Midfield area, minus Pogba, is very mediocre at best. We don't. McTominay, a lot of the season has pretty much played out of his skin.
Yeah,
but he's obviously not got the same amount of ability or close to Pogba.
No,
and literally McTominay today was poor. Fred was poor. And that might have been where we lost the game today. Midfield area just weren't good enough.
In the first... Go on.
And when in the midfield area, when it's not being tied together, we basically can't link the play from the back line to the forward line very well. And that's kind of where it breaks down.
And especially today, I think we're seeing Gary Neville's reaction to that De Gea mistake there, which was a terrible mistake by De Gea. Even by his standards, that was De Gea first season type mistake, wasn't it?
It's happening all too often now, though. From De Gea, man.
But yeah, the first half United, in terms of making chances, it seemed to me, and obviously I'll have to go back and watch it with more of an eye for it, but what I saw during the watch along that we did before was that they almost allowed Fred and McTominay to have space in the middle, knowing that they wouldn't be able to make those through balls, make those passes. As soon as Rashford got the ball, he had two men on him. As soon as Dan James got the ball, he had two men on him. They were really closing down our wingers. So I think they realised that's where a lot of our play comes from. And McTominay and Fred, with almost the time to make the passes, gave the ball away time and time and time again, didn't they? Because they were trying to make the passes still, but the runs were being... The defenders were blocking the passing lanes. That Rashford and James didn't do enough to get the ball. Martial wasn't coming and getting the ball in the way that you would hope he would. And that didn't really change until Pogba came on. Obviously, people calling for him to come on earlier. But he's been out for 3 months. You can't just bring a player on. You can't just start a player in a game that was always going to be difficult, even with Pogba playing. When he's been out for 3 months, that's what we saw last time. He came back from an injury too early, and he got injured again. So we couldn't have done it any other way. But it did take until he came on for us to look like we could make chances.
He literally came on, and the difference was quite stark.
Ridiculous. The balls over the top, two of them. One to it was the first one.
He literally first one to Rashford, second one to Greenwood, and literally both passes. We've not got another player capable of them passes.
No.
And he's come on supposedly rusty.
Yeah.
Not played in a long time and just completely changed. I think he made Martial play better as well.
Yeah, he did. Martial came into the game, started there's a time where Pogba was on the left hand side and he played the ball into Martial and he sort of did that run cut inside and was sort of on the corner of the 6-yard box almost, and he had that shot across Foster, didn't he? He palmed it down, but Pogba made a huge difference as soon as he came on. And to think that we've got our best player coming back. Obviously today was a horrific result, but there is maybe something to look forward to going forward, that we will have someone in that creative third that can do these sorts of things. And it seems as though we'll be playing maybe more of a 10 as well. But yeah, it was just shocking today, wasn't it?
I know it's just terrible. Basically what it is we just can't. We need to crack this dropping points against Villa, dropping points against Sheffield, dropping points against Watford.
Yeah, because Newcastle, everyone.
Invariably, that's going to end up biting us in the back.
Yeah.
Come the end of the season.
You see the stats here, look. Watford, 11 shots, 3 on target. United, 17 shots, 8 on target. I mean, 8 shots on target isn't...
A lot of them
isn't bad, is it?
A lot of them was what you'd call in like garbage time kind of statistics.
Last 5 minutes.
5 minutes, game's gone really stretched and we're just shooting...
But still, you would think, the one Rashford had, he spun and it hit Foster on the leg. Pogba, that one that went straight at Foster. Martial, another one. He just chipped straight at Foster. McTominay with a header diving into the back post straight at Foster. Maguire with a header straight at Foster. So many chances, every single one going straight at Foster. I can't think of a big. He played well, Foster, and he made a lot of saves, but I can't think of a difficult save he had to make all game.
No, I think all of his saves were like savable.
Yeah,
I think the one in the box from Pogba, pretty good save, set himself well, but wasn't the easiest opportunity for Pogba. But
no.
I don't know, man. It's just it's quite a demoralising game.
So we're saying it's time for change. Do you think formation? Do you think players? What's the biggest key for you?
I don't know what it is, but it's obviously a set trend now that we've got an issue in these kind of games, and a couple of us are saying that maybe Mata with his creativity, etc. But his legs are gone. Yeah, he's shot.
Yeah, his legs are gone.
So where does that leave you in creativity? Probably Pogba.
Yeah.
And we've not had him. And as we showed in the past 30 minutes, with Pogba playing, we're a different side going forward.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I
think the formation was a difficult one today. We always play with these two holding players. I don't think it allows for much creativity. I think the reason we play with two holding players is because it's overcoming the fact or compensating for the fact that we don't have a natural defensive midfielder. So I think Solskjaer likes to play with two in there. I think it's more of he's worried that we're going to get overrun in midfield if we don't have two players holding back all the time, which is, again, is a symptom of a lack of quality rather than necessarily the worst tactics. But it's a strange thing when we've got the same formation and tactics against wildly different opposition each week. And again, the only thing that's been consistent this season is how difficult we found it to break down poor teams.
But I was wondering if it's one of them. We're complacent.
Maybe, do you think though?
I don't know. It's kind of the thing. We've had a good run of form.
Yeah.
And Watford, bottom of the table.
Yeah.
Kind of turned up thinking that we'd just win the game, because I feel like too many players didn't turn up today.
Yeah. But you think though, because it's been such a thing for the whole season that United struggle to win these games. You would almost think we would turn up more for these games now, because I know it's obvious that you're going to turn up against City and Liverpool and those kind of things. There's no excuse for not doing that. Yeah. But at the point now where it's almost become a joke, a sort of a, not a meme, but like, we are bad against the lower half teams. We know that. Our players know that. The opposition players know that. So they're stepping up their game. You would think United's players would be sat there thinking, this is going to be a harder game for us than those other games are. How is there any excuse? I know you're not saying there is an excuse, but I can't believe that they think, oh, we'll beat Watford easy, because they're the games we've struggled in. And surely they've been playing all season. They know that that's the case. It's not like we're going, another easy 3 points. We all sat here before the game thinking this is going to be a tight game. I thought it'd be 2-1 team. I know I said 1-0 United because I thought it'd be really tight and really difficult. And if the players are going to these sorts of games thinking, it's only Watford, they're bottom of the league, look, we'll smash them. They are fools. And I can't believe they're thinking like that. I don't think they are thinking like that. It just doesn't make any sense.
Just basically what this game has epitomised, and what we can look at in the positives going forward.
Yeah, let's have a look at some positives.
Is we start Pogba in the 10 role.
Yeah.
Role, and see if that makes the difference that we feel like it would make, because he's obviously got more ability than Lingard.
Well, we saw the difference when Martial came back from being injured. We scored more goals, all that kind of thing. So, again, bringing in our best player...
But obviously, it does make a difference, because it was just a distinct lack of quality in midfield today that fucked us, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, the Lingard chance, if that goes in, United's ability to lead from the front has been one of the few things we've been excellent at this season. I think
if-buts.
It is ifs and buts, and it's been that all season, hasn't it? Any questions? Get them in. The commentator said the Leicester spotted Paul Pogba. Yeah, because he's been injured, or because that's why he hasn't been spotted very much. Any team can concede a couple of goals, but a team like Man United should be guaranteed to score a couple. Yeah, but why?
The last 3 goals are conceded.
You have to make those goals. You don't just start a game 2-0 up. You have to make those chances and score those goals yourself, and we're not doing that. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe we think we're guaranteed to score goals when we aren't.
If you think about it, though, if you look at the Everton game and the Watford game, that's 5 points dropped.
Yeah,
and that were basically 5 points dropped on our own. The goal we conceded at Everton was Lindelof own goal.
Yeah. Poor from De Gea, poor from Lindelof.
Poor from De Gea.
And Shaw as well, leading up to it.
It's a De Gea mistake for this one, and Wan-Bissaka penalty giveaway.
Yeah.
So we've basically beaten ourselves.
Yeah. And again, that's... Again, I'm not going to say Wan-Bissaka is bad defensively. Obviously, he gave the penalty away today, but it's a mistake from him, certainly. And that's not, that's not the manager's fault. De Gea making that mistake, you wouldn't expect that mistake from an under-12 goalkeeper at any level. That is, a human catching a football. Most times I wouldn't make that mistake. No human would make that mistake. So it's obviously it's a freak mistake to make. And like I said, we're beating ourselves in these games.
Beating ourselves, man.
I thought we were going to end on a positive for a minute there. It felt like we might do, didn't it? But then it went back to being sad again.
Positives when you win, when you lose to a bottom of the league.
Yeah, that is hard to be positive, isn't it?
What I'm saying.
Yeah, I think new players. Let's look forward to having Pogba back, starting games, making.
That's the only positive, really.
Yeah, the only positive is Paul Pogba's back,
and it basically makes it even more worrying. With January coming up, if we do lose him.
Yeah, I can't see us selling him in January. I don't think we have any need to sell him in January. He's obviously not refusing to play. We've seen that. There's been a lot of speculation about him faking injuries to play. He's come back earlier than people thought he might in these last couple of weeks. A lot of us were shocked yesterday to see that he was even in the squad. So I don't think there's any doubt that he's willing to play. And you saw the effort he put in today. He was our best player by a mile, like you said. So even if he wants to leave in the summer, that can be looked at when we get to the summer. But he's not going anywhere in January. It would be suicide to sell him in January. I think it would be we're less likely to get good money for him because everything's rushed and squashed and strange transfers happen in January, and we would be, basically allowing ourselves to stop creating chances for the rest of the season if we sold him. I don't think we'll sell him in January, but we could do with bringing some extra players and some extra quality, as we've seen today, people to supplement Pogba's quality, but. Yeah, not a good day at all, was it? What are you going to do for the rest of the day? Just sit, cry, lay down, close your eyes? That's what I think I'm just
probably reflect.
Just
try and think about
look out of a rainy window, just with the flashes of the goals
go
in your
to bed,
mind.
really.
Yeah, I might have an early night tonight. Bloody hell. Right. We should sell the hair. Absolutely not. Right. Thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully we'll have something better to look forward to. It's our last game before Christmas, so everyone have a good Christmas. We're back on Boxing Day for a watch-along with Newcastle against Man United. Obviously, thanks Ronaldo, mate. Sorry it had to be this way. We'll see you next time.